Hey, what's up, sports bettors? Happy Friday. Hope you're enjoying it. We're going to be talking about sports betting strategies. I'm going to go through my favorite parlay bet for June 25th. You can see we got the Stanley Cup Game 5 going on right now. Lightning already up 1-0, but they're only very slight favorites, so a little interesting. But we're going to be talking about parlay betting strategy, and the reason is typically on this channel, we place straight bets, right? I have a ton of straight bets already open for tomorrow. Yankees and Red Sox. Red Sox on the run line, Yankees money line. I mean, tons of bets were a lot of great early bets given that there's 15 MLB games tomorrow. So I took advantage of some early line discrepancies, over 9 runs, Athletics, Royals. But regardless, we're going to be talking about parlays. So how do you place a profitable parlay? And kind of the general, thought is that parlays are always unprofitable bets because the vig or the juice compounds. But quite simply, that's just not true. Right? If you find bets with edge, where you have the edge over the sports book, a positive EV bet, then your parlay will be profitable, right? Your parlay will be positive EV. And we can quantify that mathematically. We'll go through an example of a profitable parlay that I placed earlier today. But essentially, like this Giants Reds bet at plus 116 has pretty incredible value. So if you lock that in, right, at plus 116, or it just moved down very slightly to plus 114 from plus 116, so it's not going to last forever. But you can see there's clear value in being able to get this plus 114. If you include this in your parlay, that's a great bet, right? You're getting a ton of value as the OddsJam software identified for you. So you could parlay together these two bets. I bet them independently, so I think I already have them bet. So if you just kind of click into here. I have it bet independently, but you could incorporate it in a parlay as well, and it would be a great leg to incorporate in your parlay. So we'll go through parlay betting strategy, the math behind how the odds work in a parlay, but let's just start out with the parlay. So I have a parlay on WynnBet. Well, this one isn't the one, but this one's currently open. So I need the Pirates to win. It looks like they're tied with the Rays. Huge bet I have on, but we're going to be talking about a 2-leg parlay for tomorrow. So if I scroll down, it's right here. This is the one I wanted to talk about, the Red Sox Reds parlay. So I have Red Sox on the run line on DraftKings right here, which was a positive EV bet from the OddsJam software with a pretty good edge. And then I also have their money line, right, in this parlay at plus 152. And then I have the Reds plus 220. So this parlay comes out to plus 706 odds, so pretty high odds, right? We can get a big payout here, and we're going to talk about this, this parlay, the math behind the parlay. So both of these bets were just found on the Positive EV Tool. So you can see we were able to get the Red Sox plus 152. WynnBet pulled their odds on it, but essentially I just took a look at the sports betting market, and it should be pretty clear. These are the 3 sharpest bookmakers. Right? We have Bookmaker, Bet Online, and Pinnacle. They're all giving you about plus 125 to plus 140. We were able to pick this up plus 152 odds, as you can see right here in our parlay, right? So that's pretty insane value. So we also are on the Reds plus 220 in our parlay, as you can see right here, right? So just 2 positive EV bets, and we should have pretty high confidence, right, that both bets are profitable. Right here, Pinnacle's market is plus 140, minus 152. So if we put that into a zero vig odds calculator, the true line, the true odds would be plus 144.76. So you would want to bet, on the Red Sox anywhere above plus 144.76 odds. That would be a profitable bet. And we got it in our parlay at plus 152. We're beating the true odds, right, from the sharpest bookmaker. That's what OddsJam shows you. For Bookmaker, it's plus 125, minus 145. So they're very bullish on the Red Sox tomorrow. They're only giving you plus 125 odds, and they're giving you minus 145 on the Guardians. So they're pricing the true odds at plus 133. We got better odds than the true odds. We got plus 152. So the fact that another sharp sports book is also telling us, hey, this bet should be priced. Their model is pricing the true odds once you remove the vig or juice at plus 133. We can get it plus 152. It's like, yeah, that's a great bet. And then even Bet Online, right? We can check out their odds too. Plus 137, minus 148. So essentially, all of the sharp bookmakers are pricing the true odds from like plus 130 to plus 145, and we got it plus 152. So as a sports bettor, we're like, yeah, we have very high confidence that placing a bet on the Red Sox for Saturday, June 25th at plus 152 odds is great, right? It's great. So I hit it. But I included it in a parlay because, you have these reward points on WynnBet, which are quite cool. So I like them a lot. I like WynnBet a lot as a sports book, because they give you a bunch of free credits and stuff like that. So when I find good bets on them, I definitely like to bet on them. So that's the first bet we have. We're on the Red Sox plus 152 on the money line tomorrow. So I think that's a great bet. I included it in my parlay. So what we need to do next when we discuss parlay betting strategy or how parlay odds work is we need to take the odds from Pinnacle plus 140 minus 152, and we'll just remove the juice from the sharpest sports book to get an indication of what the win probability for a bet is, right? So every odd has an associated probability. If a sports book's giving you plus 100 odds for a team, you need to hit that bet 50% of the time, to break even. So when you remove the juice from a bookmaker's market, right, you take the juice and you remove it, this calculator will tell you what the sportsbook's model, right, based on all the action, the millions of dollars of bets they're taking, what they're pricing as the true odds for a wager. And for the Red Sox, it's 40.86%, right? It's a clear line discrepancy. We were able to get them, plus 152, something like that. Yeah, plus 152. That's ridiculous value. Just look at the odds on every other sportsbook, right? This is profitable to basically every book's, model. In these sports books, you're not smarter typically, especially than the sharper bookmakers, right? They're taking millions of dollars in bets. They're very efficient betting markets. So the best way to get an estimate of what's the win probability for the Red Sox is you remove the juice from the sharpest sports books in their markets to get an indication of what the win probability for your bet is and what the true odds are, right? If we could get the Red Sox, minus 120, the Guardians minus 120, just looking at the betting market, the Red Sox would be an insane bet. We'd want to be all over the Red Sox, or the Guardians, minus 120, right? We're just looking at sportsbook odds, right? Minus 120 would be an incredible bet. If we could get the Red Sox plus 170, plus 152 like we did, that's a great bet, right? Everything in sports betting is price contingent. You need to be finding value. You need to be getting great prices. So then we also have the Reds plus 220 in our parlay for tomorrow. That's not what we wanted to look at, so we'll scroll back down. We have the Reds. A lot of bets open for tomorrow. We have the Reds plus 220. So you can see WynnBet just pulled their market after I hit it, but the market on Pinnacle is plus 202 minus 224. So we can remove the vig, remove the juice from that with this OddsJam no vig fair odds calculator. It's the most important calculator on OddsJam. I highly recommend you use it. You read this text, you really understand it, and you can always book a call with us. If you get confused or you have questions or whatever, you can always book a call with us. We're happy to chat with you. Our only job is to help you, become a more profitable bettor. So the win probability for this bet is 32.38% according to the market on the sharpest bookmaker, right? And it should be pretty clear, plus 220 is a true pricing discrepancy, right? We're getting ridiculous value and we're beating the true odds based on what all the sharp bookmakers are pricing, right? So you're using real-time odds from the sharpest bookmakers to kind of get an indication of what should the win probability for your bet be. So 32.38% for the Reds, 32.38% for the Reds. So now we know the win probability for both of our bets, right? We're getting plus 703 odds, I believe it was. 706 odds. So 706 odds. We're staking 1,500 to win 10,590 in profit, right? And the profit margin of our bet we can back out mathematically. So we have the win probability for both the Red Sox money line and the Reds money line, right? We have the win probability for both bets. So to find out the win probability for our parlay, which is both the Red Sox and the Reds win, 2 uncorrelated games, 2 uncorrelated bets, you just multiply these numbers together, and we see our parlays hitting 13.23, 13.23% of the time. So then we can back out the EV of our parlay. So $100 in profit margin on this parlay, right? Because 13.23% of the time, according to the sharpest bookmaker, using real-time odds from the sharpest bookmaker, sportsbook odds, their markets imply all information available, in the market, right? So you want to use the real-time odds from the sharpest sportsbooks that are the most efficient betting markets, taking the most volume with the, that are just the sharpest, to kind of get an indication of the fair win probability for each bet. So we're winning this parlay 13.23% of the time at plus 706 odds. So we can back out our edge, right? In our EV, right? 13.23% of the time we win this much money. The other 87% of the time we lose our stake of $1,500. So we have $100 in profit margin on this parlay, 6.4% or 6.6% edge, right? So again, when you parlay together positive EV bets, your parlay is going to be profitable, because all a sportsbook is doing, when they're determining odds for a parlay, is taking these implied probabilities, multiplying them together. So for plus 100, as an example, if we go to an odds converter calculator, so we'll go here, plus 100 odds implies a win probability. That means the sportsbook's giving you an implied probability of 50%. So 50% times 50% is 25%. So you can see right here, a sportsbook's giving us plus 300 odds on a 2-leg parlay if both bets are plus 100, right? So plus 300 is just 25%, right? So that's how parlay odds work. That's how parlay odds work. So 2-leg parlay for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's make some money.